The latest that we're finding with Mark Fondren, who's the technical leader for the Michigan State Police Breath Alcohol Unit and the bad breath scandal, we're finding that the record keeping remains really almost misleading, definitely inconsistent and problematic. Here's an example from Meridian Township, which is Ingham County near Lansing. This is the department's May 2020 weekly accuracy check log, which is where the department's also supposed to have the 120-day checks notated. May 11th, you see the observed value is greater than 5% from the target value. The way the instrument's programmed is it's supposed to take itself out of service. Well, we found out eventually this instrument did, but as you can see, there's no notation here, like there should be, that the instrument was taken out of service. And here's why. Mr. Fondren shows up roughly 8 hours after this self-check that was performed at 4 a.m. on Monday, the 11th of May. He writes down notations that would just be simply what he would do if he was doing the 120-day statutorily required or administratively required accuracy check. He doesn't indicate records out of service. And we're sending FOIAs and we're pushing the Michigan State Police to turn over logs called the OD84 logs. Well, we don't get them. We finally get them because we had, frankly, a fair assistant prosecutor who pushed Mr. Fondren to make him turn these over to us. And this is what we get. This is the log that goes along with this notation on the accuracy check log. This evidential breath tester inspection report tells us that, yes, the instrument was out of service because the observed value exceeded by 5% the target value on the weekly accuracy check. So this is what Mr. Fondren did when he came out on the 11th. It wasn't a 120-day accuracy check. It was a repair. That's a problem. So I think anybody who, at least in this jurisdiction of Meridian Township, was arrested and given a breath test between, let's say, May 4th and May 11th, probably ought to think twice about having your guilty plea rescinded if you've already pled guilty. If you haven't, definitely have a conversation with your lawyer about this. Now, it's Thanksgiving time, and usually the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, it's the biggest bar night in the world. Not going to happen, at least not in Michigan, because the bars are closed. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be safe. It doesn't mean officers will not be arresting you. But remember, you do have the right to assert your right to remain silent, your right to refuse the PBT, and your right to refuse standardized field sobriety tests. But be polite, because especially now, it's not going to do you any good to be anything other than courteous and professional on the roadside if you're pulled over with alcohol in your system.